there?
Yep. Right.
This is Tel Aviv. This is where you'll be driving. See, if there's no traffic, half an hour you're there.
Right.
Okay.
With
We'll just
traffic,
fly.
that's a different question. It's a different matter. But from here to Tel Aviv is half an hour drive, like 25 miles, 20 miles. Okay? Now we're looking at the coast. So we're looking west, the sea, the Mediterranean Sea. So now let's go north. From Tel Aviv you go to Herzliya. From Herzliya you go to Netanya. From Netanya you go to Caesarea.
Wow.
From Caesarea all the way to Haifa. Those lights there is Haifa.
Wow. Amazing.
The whole coast.
And Avi, where are we standing right now?
I will. We are the first hills of Samaria,
Okay.
the first elevation of Samaria, and it's after the Green Line, as they call it. And the place is called Alfei Menashe, the thousands of Manasseh. Okay?
And it's in Samaria.
This is Samaria.
Okay, not Judea.
Can
Yeah.
you see Lebanon from here?
No.
Okay. Not that
Now
far.
let me continue. From Tel Aviv you go south, you go to Rishon LeZion, Ashdod, Ashkelon, all the way to Gaza.
Can you
Oh,
see Gaza
wow.
from here?
Uh,
No.
No.
Maybe-
On a really clear day.
Yes, yeah. So basically you see the whole coast of here, of Israel. Now let me give you a little bit some history, okay? In 1948, when Israel declared independence, you know, the UN gave us a very small strip, okay? And the desert. Judea and Samaria were under the Jordanians.
Yeah.
Now, how did the Jordanians call those mountains? Well, behind us is the Jordan River. So the mountains on the east side of the Jordan River was the east bank. And the mountains on the west bank of the Jordan River is called the west bank. So the Jordanians and the Arab world call it the west bank. Why? They refuse to call it the biblical name, which is Judea and Samaria.
Yep.
I love the Bible and I love Judea and Samaria because it told us to preach the gospel from Jerusalem, Judea and Samaria to the rest of the world.
And to the earth, yep.
But the world doesn't like it, so they have to change it and make it something else.
Yes.
Sounds familiar, right? So when Israel declared independence in 1948, we had a very small trip, and the Jordanians, basically this mountain on this hill, the Jordanians had a base. They had a small cannon, and from here they would shoot Herzliya, Tel Aviv, Petah Tikva, Netanya. Why? Because from here, straight shot, 12 miles, you end up at the beach, at the sea. This was the bottleneck. One of the things that both David Ben-Gurion, Golda Meir, Moshe Dayan, all the generals, they were really concerned that between 1948 and 1967, the Jordanians overnight would come and cut Israel into two, right here. And they didn't, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay? So, just think about it, that you see it's so beautiful with lights and cities and so, but in 1948, all over Israel was, I mean, of course in Galilee as well, there was about 600,000 Jews, 500,000 Jews, surrounded with 5 Arab Muslim nations who declared war. What do I mean? Let me explain. In the north, we have Lebanon, Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and Egypt. Now Saudi Arabia supported, they didn't fight, but they supported. So we have all these Arab nations with millions of soldiers, guns, tanks, cannons, Air Force. What did we have? Nothing. Very few guns, one airplane that we stole from the British. I mean, mission impossible. The Arabs said in their radios and so, those Arabs who were in Israel said, leave, because we're going to come, we're going to slaughter the Jews and throw them to the sea. Within a couple of hours, there will be no Israel. In the practical, it should have happened. But they forgot something important. God.
Amen.
In the Bible says, he that keepeth Israel shall not slumber nor sleep. And God did miracles upon miracles
Yes, he
upon
did.
miracles.
Yep.
And then in 1967, the same thing. Israel ran over those mountains, the Judeans fled, so they took Samaria. And then on that side, you see those hills there? This is Judea.
Okay.
So Judea is in the south and Samaria is in the north. So the army again pushed all the way to Jerusalem and freed Jerusalem. And Jerusalem became one city again. Okay, so it gives you a good understanding that Judea is not just one mountain. Jerusalem is not one mountain, it's many mountains. And the same thing with Samaria, it's many mountains. And if you want to know more, if you drive about 20 kilometers, 15 kilometers, let's say 10 miles from here, you are in Shechem, Nablus. Shechem is the city where Joseph is buried, but also there is a well. Remember the woman, the Samaritan woman at the well?
Yep.
She said, our father, Joseph is here, he's buried here. So it's just behind us. Today we cannot go there. It's a Palestinian city under the Palestinian Authority. Okay? But Joseph is buried there, and also the well there is still there until today, and it's just behind us. Okay? So it gives you a good view how Israel is so tiny, because what we received from the UN was very tiny, but the Arab nations did not accept it. And then in '67, the same thing. We attacked them and we took the land that is really ours. And you have to understand this: the Arabs that lived here, they had Jordanian passport. So when the war broke, they ran to Jordan. So what happened is, King Hussein, Jordan, he said, "No, you stay in refugee camps, and you need to go back to Palestine." But there is no Palestine. I mean, this is ridiculous. But it shows you how the whole issue of the PLO started, and Arafat and all those things. And then people forget the Black September, when Arafat had a coup and he was planning to take over, kill King Hussein and take over Jordan. And King Hussein was smart enough, and of course Israel already had information. They told King Hussein, because we already had relationship with him, said, you better, if you don't do something about it, your head is on the line. And he fought them and kicked them out. So where did they go? They went to Lebanon. And that's how it started, the problems in Lebanon. I'll give you another example. When you ask Americans, when is the first time the terrorists attacked America? Everybody would say the Twin Towers. Wrong. Remember the big marine building in Lebanon? I forgot how many died, 150, I don't remember. A lot of American soldiers died in Beirut. Why? Because the terrorists bombed and killed Americans there.
Yep.
And they forgot that was a lot of people they killed. This is before the Twin Towers in New York. So when you really study history and you find those things, you say, wait a minute. We've been dealing with terrorists for a long time. And for the terrorists that are totally demonically inspired, they see Christians and Jews as infidels. To them, we are infidels. So what do? Well, you fight them and pray for them. They will get saved.
That's right.
That's a solution. Anyhow, I didn't want to get too much politics, but I wanted